Hey guys, and welcome to episode 4 of the Jab Podcast.
What's up, baby?
Sonny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, baby?
Wow.
Hey, man, it's good to see you, dude. I hadn't seen you since Saturday.
I know, man. It was a epic night of fights.
Great night of fights, man. Can't be more pleased with what became of it, man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Good, very good night of fights.
The fans back in attendance and everything. I didn't know I missed
the fans the
way
crowd
you did. Until, I mean, just from the first fight to the main event, it was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was relentless, man. The fans were awesome. And think about it, it was only 15.2,
right.
Like 15,200, something like that. And it was great. It was awesome.
It was awesome. I know, and we'll get into this a little bit later, the recency bias, but it's for what the card meant. It's up there as far as like in the top 10s or rankings of cards, just from what it meant to where we were a year ago. You know, not knowing when we would ever have fans back in attendance.
You know, I think we stroked Dana a little bit last week, but I mean, he deserves a good stroke in here. Like, he's a guy that said they were never going to lay off guys, and he didn't.
They never did.
They never did, and you know,
they thrived through this.
They
pandemic,
thrived. They put on a show each and every week without fans, and made it safe. You know, with the COVID protocols.
Hiccups here and there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, you would get to your watch party on Saturday and be like, I'm here early, not because a fight fell off or something. You'd be 30 minutes waiting on a fight, but still, I mean, he's had an event every single Saturday for the most part, and then now to finally have fans back, to be pretty much. I know there's fans right now in baseball and hockey and stuff, but pretty much to have a full capacity crowd the way it is, he's the first to do that too.
I want to touch on this a minute. I don't know if you saw it because we haven't spoke about this, but the Los Angeles Journal, like Weekly Journal or whatever. Did you see that article?
Las Vegas.
I said Los Angeles.
You said Los Angeles. Yeah. No, I heard Dana's comment about it. Like, he's fucking fire hot.
I read it. I mean, dude, it's just like.
Was it an article or it was like a headline?
It was a headline, and then it had like a little blurb below it, and it was like the Las Vegas faithful are putting their lives on the line or some crap, and it was just a slap in the face to Dana,
really?
who has, you know, gone to the extra mile to you know, put on fights safely and everything like that.
Yeah, see, I heard it yesterday, day before. I watched the post-fight press conference when, you know, Dana came out there, and I heard him say, you know, fuck you guys, this is my hometown, I do this shit for y'all, and y'all do that kind of shit to me. Like,
yeah.
I don't really know the backstory or exactly what happened, but I did see where Dana commented on it.
Yeah, great fights, man. But first, let's get into some news. There's not a lot. Then we'll run through the card and all the good stuff, that good and bad, that came out of it. First thing I want to touch on is Nick Diaz was in attendance Saturday night, and apparently he wants to fight. He was asked. They asked Dana about it at the press conference, and you know, Nick's wanting to get back in there, man.
What did Dana say about it?
Dana just said that he was waiting on. Nick was waiting on him after the.
Yeah, I think they met up. Yeah.
Okay, they did meet up.
I want to say they met up, but did you see who asked for the fight on Twitter?
Who's that?
Khamzat Chimaev.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Can you say ass kicking?
On Chimaev's end.
Yeah, Chimaev's would bury the guy. I mean, if you look at Nick Diaz's fight history, what is it? He hadn't got a win in over 10 years. I think he's fought. The last time he fought was 5 years ago, and the last time he's got a win in MMA.
USADA. He was suspended from USADA for
10 years, even 5 years is a long time away from fighting.
I mean, it's happened here recently with
I mean,
was it Espino or Danho?
Yeah.
He was like 5 or 6 years off.
Yeah, but I think he was doing boxing or something though on the side, like in between. I don't think it was a constant break. Like
Jessica Penne too, man.
Yeah.
Jessica Penne had a long.
What would be your odds? What would be Anthony Johnson's odds on a Chimaev Nick Diaz match for 2021?
Let me see.
I'll put it this way: his last professional MMA fight was Anderson Silva in January of 2015. His last professional win, MMA win, BJ Penn in October of 2011. So we're going on 10 years since he's got a win.
So it would have to be
like Nick. You ain't got to tell me Chimaev. Just give me Nick Diaz plus what?
No, I'll go both. Even with Chimaev getting COVID and being it would still be north of 750 on his end, maybe more.
Yeah.
Plus, and then Diaz would be at least plus 500. That's the minimum.
Is that something you really want to see though, as an MMA fan?
I want to see Nick back in there against anybody. It doesn't matter who. I wouldn't put him up I wouldn't put him up against Chimaev.
What about like a Robbie Lawler? Would you run that back again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Hey, Jorge Masvidal. Why not?
Yeah.
Beat his little brother up. Why not?
Yeah, you're right, man. Damn, I didn't think about that.
Because spoiler alert, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you've seen what happened on Saturday night. But yeah, we can bounce around here. Masvidal takes a nasty knockout. What's next for Jorge Masvidal?
Yeah, man, I like it.
Only big money fights for Masvidal from here on out.
Masvidal,
until he gets back into the
Masvidal
mix.
Is still a money name, I think.
Yeah, he can get back into the mix, but this fight, he's not taking a Jeff Neal fight. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, Jeff Neal's got a match coming up.
Yeah, but I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing a middle of the tier name at you in the 170 division.
Yeah.
Even we can mix Masvidal in at 185 too. Just
so?
some fun fights or back down to 155.
That welterweight division. Speaking of that, can I address this now?
Go ahead.
While we're talking about welterweights,
we can do whatever we want, man. It's our show.
Last week we were drinking Old Smoky Mango Habanero.
Sorry for the last 30. We did go long, but that was to be expected. The biggest fight of the year. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
The last 30 minutes was a little bit rough.
All I want to say is that snuck up on me.
Yeah,
I know what I'm talking about.
Usman's
I promise.
The heavyweight champion of the world, man.
I know to a certain extent. I know what I'm talking about, and I went back and listened to most of the podcast last week.
Cringe-worthy, man.
Yeah, it was definitely cringe. I cringed more than once. Yeah, I called. I said if Usman won, he would be the greatest. He could be in contention for the greatest heavyweight champion of all time.
Not only that, we're going through. We're breaking down the fight, getting ready to do predictions, and you go, I'm going to take Masvidal by KO. And I'm like, huh? No. You were like talking the whole time, like, all right, setting up, you're about to take the Usman pick, and then you go, I'm going to take Masvidal. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so this podcast, I'm just drinking beer.
Yeah, just beer.
Just cold beer. Just cold beer, taking it easy.
Cold beer.
All right, so back to our news. What else we got on the table?
Another fight announcement. This one is official. Not the first really wasn't a fight announcement. It's a fighter wanting to come back. So I digress. Izzy defending his title against Marvin Vettori June 12th.
I wanted to ask you about
Vettori's getting jumped, or Whitaker's getting jumped by Vettori
because they're saying Whitaker can't be ready by June 12th, which is understandably so.
Izzy wanting to get back in there, dust off the Jan loss. He's wanting to get back in there, or quick return.
Yeah, and you can't blame him.
He earns that. He's the champ. He gets to pick. The champ gets to pick when they fight. That's part of being the champ. We'll get into that later, or we can get into it now. Great transition. Hold on. Let's talk about the Izzy Vettori fight first. Let's pump the brakes a minute. How do you see that fight going? Because the first time they fought, very close fight, was a split decision?
Yeah, it was split.
Split decision. Both fighters have improved tremendously. I think Vettori does see a little bit of the blueprint to beat Izzy, and Vettori, not really known for his wrestling, but uses his wrestling in this fight. I think that's the blueprint.
Is that official?
Yeah.
Okay.
We broke that. Burns and Wonderboy. I think that was episode 2. We spoke on that.
Yeah, sorry to throw that curveball out there.
Let
me get back to your question.
Yeah.
Adesanya Vettori, I think that fight's going to come down to who can control the pace.
Right.
If Izzy can control it on his feet, I said this last week before, I don't remember. There's not a kickboxer in the world or in the UFC for sure that's going to out kickbox Izzy. So if Vettori can get in there and eat a couple shots and control the fight, get it close in the clinch, up against the cage, even on the ground, like Jan did. Third, fourth, fifth round, Jan got it on the ground, and Izzy couldn't get up. So Vettori can definitely win the fight. He's not the better. I don't know. I don't want to call him. I don't want to say he's not the better fighter because he probably is in certain scenarios.
And I'm one of the fight fans that don't really want to take too much out of their first fight. Obviously, They spent 15 minutes together in the octagon, but at the same time, this Izzy would beat the shit out of that Izzy, and vice versa. This Vettori would beat the shit out of that Vettori. They're totally different fighters, so it's hard to break down a fight like that. Talking about their last fight.
Well, we'll have our chance to break down that fight.
Yeah, we'll break it down. Kyler Phillips gonna face Rafael Assunção. Good little fight in the bantamweight division.
I like that. I like that for Kyler Phillips. His last fight was Song Yadong.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I was Song Yadong was the favorite in that fight, and Kyler Phillips. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a doubt in the mind after the final bell rung that Kyler Phillips won that fight. He controlled the fight. He's definitely talented. He's a super talented guy. I like it. I like it for sure.
Let's see what we got in Kyler.
I like Kyler, man. I think he's a good fighter. I think the UFC's got something in him.
Right. A little bit of bad news here. Broke last night. TJ Dillashaw cut above his eye in training. Going to be out of next week's fight versus Corey Sandhagen. Bummed out, man.
Yeah, and I saw two different things on this. The report that broke said he got a headbutted in training and caused a cut on his eye. And I saw something on Twitter that said the cut had been there for a while now and that it got infected is why the fight got called off. So I don't, you can't believe everything you see on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Shawnee newly on Twitter.
Hey, yeah, man. at Sean Dog B. Come at me, bro. Where were y'all at Saturday? Yep. Where were y'all at Saturday?
So let's see here. Nothing really else in the news.
No. What I say earlier, Diego.
Oh yeah, breaking news. Diego
is out for the Cerrone fight.
Right?
Yeah, so Cerrone
wants to stay on the card.
Yeah, Cowboy wants to stay on the card. They're looking for another 170 guy to get in there for Cowboy. So hopefully, this time next week we'll have an answer to that question. I was looking forward to that Cowboy Diego fight.
Yeah, fun fight. Fight fans kind of fight,
Exactly.
So let's get into 261.
Hold on. No? Do you want to bring it up or do you not want to bring it up?
I don't want to bring it up.
You don't want to bring it up?
Well, we got to now. I mean, we can't.
Okay, let's bring it up.
Okay.
Hey, just remember before we bring it up.
Fuck Jake Paul.
The Twitter is Sean Dog B. I want to get y'all's input on this too.
Fuck Jake Paul. I don't even want to talk about this guy. He's never going to fight in the UFC. This is an MMA podcast.
I don't want to talk about Jake Paul, but I just want the question you asked me when I got here.
Is he going to fight DC? DC apparently wants it.
You think so? I mean,
dude,
I know DC wants it and DC will take it, but is DC going to take a boxing match against Jake Paul?
Yes. We'll shout out DC and Hawani every Monday. Their show's awesome, man. So Ariel asked him, what happened, and what?
No, go ahead. This is another topic.
So I'll run through this if you want to bring it up. Ariel asked him what happened, because the social media kind of went viral with
I haven't heard
DC in his face. So Ariel asked him what happened. So the crowd's chanting, "Fuck Jake Paul, fuck Jake Paul." So
damn, I wish I would have heard that.
There was the fight. The previous fight had just ended, so DC asked the producers, hey, do I have a second? How much time do I have? And they're like, you have no time. You have no time.
He got up in their face.
He goes, give me 2 minutes. Give me 2-3 minutes.
The video you saw on Twitter or the internet or whatever, when DC was in his face pointing his finger, it looked like a daddy getting on his boy because Jake Paul wasn't saying shit. Jake Paul was fucking
and that's what DC got said in this. So he said, all right, you got 2 minutes. Hurry up. So he darts to Jake Paul. Jake Paul's entourage is not behind him. DC says Jake Paul's hands are behind his back. And DC's like, don't fucking play this game. Don't fucking do it. I'm not the one to mess with. You fucking said my name. Get my name out of your fucking mouth. And then the entourage kind of got around everybody, and that's when that's the pictures that came out. I don't know, man. DC says he wants to snap this dude's head off. I'm going to tell you what. Jake Paul, all power to him, man. You're getting your money. You're doing your thing. You do not want Daniel Cormier.
The thing
I'm telling you right now, Ben Askren was a washed up, not a striker.
Ben Askren did it for the money, dude.
And he did it for the money, and he was 6 weeks away. Or he had just had hip surgery 6 weeks before that, so he theoretically did no training for it. He does not want the DC spot.
I mean, if somebody offers
and I'm the biggest DC homer there is, hand up. But you have to be in that boat. DC's gonna fucking knock the shit out of him.
I mean, all right. So the thing I saw was DC wants. DC would want an MMA fight. Jake Paul's never going to go for that, no doubt about it.
He's changing his tune on that.
DC
saying he'll
I don't think DC's going to want a boxing match either. I mean, I'm not saying DC wouldn't do it. I'm just saying like
he'll do it to put
and like the biggest question is that a realistic thing? Can these guys even fight at a mutual weight class? Right. I doubt it. I really.
DC's probably walking around 270, 280 right
Shit.
now. Okay.
DC
tipping $3 bills. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that whatever. I just wanted to put that. No, he's retired. He's got a wife and kids. Fuck it. I'd be eating Big Macs every day too if I had his money. Your point. Love you, brother. Go back to your point. Dillashaw's out with the cut. The new main event. Did you tell him?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, the main event that's targeted for that card. Don't get your hopes up here, fellas. Michelle Waterson versus Marina Rodriguez. Dissect that with what you will. All right, so moving on from that, there's one more news I want to put out there. UFC announced a fight. I don't know if it's official or not, but there's commotion out there. Adrian Yanez, two big up and comers. Adrian Yanez versus Randy Costa. These are two big up and comers in that division. I just want to know your I just want to know your thoughts on like how the UFC does this with guys that's got steam coming off of them. You know, they're working their way up in their division and then they put them against each other. Do you like that? You think that's a smart way to run it? Or
I'm kind of back and forth on it. It just I don't know. I don't. But I like it. I'm fucked up here. I like it, but I also don't like what they try to do with Shea Sherman, throw him up against Andre and. So
or like what if it's kind of like if the UFC put, like I always say, the heavyweight division is on life support. So what if they went through Tom Aspinall?
It's on the rise. If anything.
It is. They've got good young talent in the heavyweight division, and we
got rid of the.
But that's the thing I'm saying. Yeah. Maybe with that, I think it's bantamweight. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I think bantamweight division is a little bit deeper than heavyweight division. So the UFC couldn't take Tom Aspinall and Chris Dawkins and put them up against each other right now because they're two names who need to build on that name. Right. Like guys like me and you know those names, but the guys that are casual watchers, they don't know
Tom Aspinall yet.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, and no disrespect to JDS and Overeem, but they were kind of like just there. They would take big fights and they had their place.
Overeem had the name when he got to the UFC.
Yeah, but they had their place in the UFC, don't get me wrong, but they're going to move on and have great careers in Bellator or whatever, or great endings to their career at Bellator or wherever. The UFC is focusing on young talent in their heavyweight division, and I love it. So, but to your point, it's kind of a case-by-case situation. Yeah, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Like in this particular instance, we're gonna learn a lot about both fighters. You know what I mean? So I digress.
You want to get on into the recap?
261. Okay. Yeah. I don't like how UFC doesn't release their pay-per-view buys anymore, like back in the old days. I guess it's ESPN Plus era, so it's kind of hard. But reportedly, 700,000 buys the night of the fight. So it is what it is, man.
What if 700,000 people listen to this podcast?
It'd be awesome, dude. Yeah. It'd be awesome. But I'm happy with just the couple hundred we got now. Shout out to you guys, man.
Love you.
Good knuckle crack there, Sean. You want to go to the top or bottom or what? We've discussed this off air. And...
I'll do it the way you want to, man. It don't matter. I can talk about anything.
Okay. Let's start off because it kind of builds. Let's start from the very first fight of the night, man, and work our way up. Just
how about the crowd to start the fucking night?
Fucking banging, dude.
Dude, they were. Man.
And it wasn't even full. Like, it wasn't full till, like, midway through.
I drank a C4 energy drink before the fight started, but if I would have just waited till the fight started, I wouldn't even needed that motherfucker.
No. Throwing bombs from the word, like...
Yeah. Leong and Adrian...
Carnelossi.
Yeah, Arion Carnelossi, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, man. Takes the decision here, man. Right?
No.
Carnelossi stopped it, right?
Yeah, it was Carnelossi it was ground and pound from guard in the second round KO. But still, man, it was that pace. Remember, okay, the pace came out incredible, and at the end of the first round, Leong, she was so tired they got her corner guys to pick her up and carry her to the corner. And I was wondering if is that legal? Can you carry your fighter from the middle of the octagon to the corner? Because that doesn't seem right.
Almost like a Greg Hardy using
yeah, I mean, dude, it was, 2 or 3 people carrying her to her corner. And
if I'm the ref and we'll get, you call it off right there.
Yeah, like she can't even walk back to her corner. She just laid there. She laid there for 5 or 10 seconds before they realized, like, we got to carry her to the corner.
You can maybe help them up, but definitely walking them to the corner, that... I want to say that's like a big no-no. Like, almost like Greg Hardy using the inhaler.
I mean, overall in the fight, I thought both fighters looked great to start.
Both women looked great.
I would have liked to seen, I praised Carnelossi last week that her only 2 losses was Angela Hill and Amanda Hebus. And I thought this was going to be a little more lopsided than it was. She did win the fight, however. But there's room to improve for both fighters here.
Yeah, absolutely. Both look good though.
Yeah, I mean that. Like I said, that pace that came out, man, that was awesome.
Move on to the
awesome
fight.
way to start the night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of awesome way to start the night, this next fight here got fight of the night.
Second fight of the night.
It's your fight of the night.
Richie Lang and Jeff Molina, fight of the night, back and forth for all 15
Yeah,
minutes.
And it was both these guys UFC debut, and it was awesome. It was a unanimous decision, Jeff Molina here, and I could have seen it going either way until the third round. Jeff Molina won the third round and was winning, but that first and second round, I thought Richie Lang could have had both of them.
Right. I want to say it was the second round that was razor thin.
Yeah, it was razor close.
Richie Lang was definitely 1. Molina was definitely 3. So it was who won that second round.
But Jeff Molina had a chance to stop that fight in the third round a couple times.
Right,
I want to say.
Right. Molina takes the decision there.
Fight of the night bonus, $50K to each guy there.
Little bit of an upset here, if you ask me, in the next fight. Rong Zhu or Zhu Rong.
Zhu Rong, it don't matter.
Rong Zhu. Versus Kazula Vargas. Vargas gets the W here.
Yeah, I was dead wrong Zhu here on this one from last week. I said that this was my most lopsided fight of the night, and Zhu Rong just never really seemed to get going. I don't know if it was UFC jitters or what.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing for some fighters. He just never really seemed to get his pace going. He was waiting on Vargas to make the first move, and Vargas just kind of, picked his shots and won the fight. It wasn't a super exciting fight. There was moments in the fight, of course, but I wish that we would have saw Zhu Rong do a little more.
He came on in that third round.
He did.
But he was clearly down. He was clearly down 2-0, and he was almost showboating in that third round. But
there was a lot of that.
I mean, but he was getting off on that third round. But yeah, bad corner. I don't know.
That was the other thing. It was Song Yadong was in these guys' corners because something about the passport issue that their original head coach couldn't make it to Florida. He had to stay in China because of passport issues.
Right, and
so they didn't have their coaches in their corner.
Richie Lang and
I don't know if it's Richie Lang. I think it was Zhu Rong and Na Lang. I think it was both of them had Song Yadong doing their head coaching, and it's not their original coach.
I did want to point out one judge gives it 30-26 for Vargas. That was
I didn't notice
kind of crazy. Yeah. So you would have gave one of these rounds a 10-8.
I thought Zhu Rong won the third round. I think we said
Zhu Rong won the third round. It was 29-28 on my card. Next we got Badrigal versus
Kevin Natividad.
not Divide or whatever.
Couldn't have been more wrong on this one too.
Under a minute knockout. Not much
This is like a Mike
that.
Tyson situation. Like, don't go take a piss because Batrial looks sharp. And Batrial said after the fight, I don't know if it's Sunday or after the card, but he said he's ready to get right back at it. Like, he's ready to step in there, and no doubt in my mind he can get in there tomorrow and win. So quick knockout.
Next fight, kind of a 30-27. It had to be.
This was my pick for performance of the night. I had Sabatini, which he controlled the fight. Sabatini, Trish Connolly.
I will take that back. Connolly won that third round. If you remember, yeah. I mean, Sabatini kind of knew he had two in the bag, so.
And Sabatini came out after the fight was over, and he said that the UFC jitters is a real thing. Like for him, that it did affect him. Like he said, he wanted to finish, but at the moment, like he got caught.
Right. Brendan Allen and
Carl Robertson
next here. Allen was the minus 135 favorite. Gets it done here via submission ankle lock.
And I said, this was like to see if Robertson could learn from his mistakes. I said, I said Brendan Allen had 8 submission wins, 7 of them via some kind of choke, so I expected Allen to get a choke here. He got a choke. It was just an ankle choke. Both of these guys had a heel hook, and Allen got to it first, and as soon as he cranked it, man, Robertson was tapping. First round, right there at the end of the round, 4:55. They say that the heel hook's one of the things. As soon as it hits, you have no choice but to tap. I mean, Robinson had 5 seconds left to get out of the first, couldn't do it. Tapped. Brendan Allen moves on, and Brendan Allen's calling for another chance at Sean Strickland, who fights
this Saturday. We move on to Dwight Grant versus Stefan Sekulik. Grant takes the win here. Split decision. A little bit controversial.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue it either way. I wouldn't be mad at it if Sekulik would win. I want to say I sprinkled a little bit of money on Sekulik. I picked Grant in our picks,
right?
But I put a little money on FanDuel on Sekulik just to see. I thought there was value there.
Definitely value there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a lot closer fight. Sekulik had time off. It's a lot closer fight on paper, and it was a close fight in real life. So, I don't know. I wouldn't have been mad either way that fight got ruled. So. I ain't have much to say about it.
Yeah. Look, both guys had their moments, and it's one of those that don't leave it in the hands of the judges. We move on to the feature prelim. Alex Cowboy Oliveira, Randy Brown. Thoughts here? Randy Brown getting the rear naked.
No, it was a one-arm rear naked.
One arm?
Yeah, one arm. I don't know if I've ever seen that live before. I'm sure it's been done in some form or fashion in the past.
I can't recall. Right off
not that I can recall off the top of my head. Randy Brown looked good. I thought Oliveira might, being a vet, might be able to throw some shit at him that might have him off balance or, trying to fill him out. But Randy Brown went out there seeking the win. And, if you would have told me, before the card, you told me this fight gets to the ground, I would assume Oliveira had the advantage.
Me too.
And when that fight got to the ground, Randy Brown had control. He got his back, and he was looking for that rear naked the whole time, and he got it deep. He got the left arm in deep under his chin, and Oliveira's holding on to his right arm, not let go. And as soon as Randy Brown's right arm got loose from Oliveira's grip, he was tapping, and that was it. That's the end of the fight. Very good performance for Randy Brown. There's potential there for him to move up in the welterweight class. Welterweight, I didn't say heavyweight. Randy Brown, welterweight class. He's got potential to move up. So
I agree.
You got anything to add to that?
Randy Brown looked good, man. That's all I can say. One arm.
Let's get into this main card.
Let's get into the main card. Anthony Lionheart Smith taking on Jimmy Crute.
And this was for the preliminary card we had, this was a sour way. It's the best word I can find. This was a sour way to start the main card.
Absolutely. It was second round.
First fight in the main card, you got Anthony Smith, Jimmy Crute.
Well, yeah. Anthony Smith.
Smith came out, and he looked like the vet that he should have. My question coming in this fight is like I didn't know where Anthony Smith was at in his career here because he's coming off the Glover fight, he's coming off the Devin Clark fight, which I don't count that because Devin Clark's not a solid competition. This was Anthony Smith's first solid competition since Glover for sure. When he fought Glover, we didn't know Glover was going to be getting a title shot at 42 years old. So
right.
Anthony Smith came out throwing that lead jab, dude. That's the best jab he's ever thrown in his life.
He was setting it up.
He was working Jimmy Crute that fight. He was winning it for sure. He hits Jimmy Crute with a leg kick right on Jimmy Crute's knee, and we still don't know now.
Yeah,
what effect took, but that nerve is shot on Jimmy Crute, and he can't walk on his left leg. So
right,
his leg folds on him. Jimmy Crute was still able to get 2 takedowns in those last 2 minutes of the first round, and as soon as the fight got to the ground, Jimmy Crute had control. Yeah. I definitely think Anthony Smith won that first round. I don't think you can argue that. But Jimmy Crute controlled the fight on the ground, got 2 takedowns. So they go back to the corners after the first round. Jimmy Crute stands up, and he kind of seemed like he had a heart there between rounds because he was fucking calling it, pounding his chest coming out.
He was wanting
he walks to the black line, and then when he goes to back up,
his knee buckles.
His knee buckles. It
wasn't like it looked like. Not that his knee was broke, but something. It was almost like his knee was asleep, or something was wonky.
It's got to be a torn tendon or a nerve or something,
man.
The doctor waves off the fight. Anthony Smith gets the win due to doctor stoppage at the end of the first. Never saw a second round.
Yeah.
Jimmy Crute still didn't. He wanted at least a second round. He didn't think there was enough evidence to stop the fight. My honest opinion, I had Jimmy Crute in this fight. I had him getting a performance of the night bonus.
He'll come back from this.
I think the doctor made the right decision.
Yeah,
for sure. Like you got to protect the fighter from himself here.
Right.
I mean, I still think the sky's the ceiling for Jimmy Crute.
I don't even want to move on, man. To the next fight.
Yeah, this is brutal.
This is.
Hold on. Well, before we get to that, what do you give Anthony Smith next?
Okay. Good question. Give me a second to ponder here.
He's got to be. He's ranked, right?
Yeah, he's in the top 10, I would say.
Where Anthony Smith's 6.
He's
right
6.
Behind Prochazka, who we get to see fight this Saturday.
Okay.
Magomad Ankalaev, the guy that just beat Ion Kudabala. I think he's got a fight coming up, but he's ranked 7. I don't know for sure. Or Nikita Krylov, he just lost to. Who did Krylov just lose to? What about Thiago Santos? Do you run that back at light heavyweight?
Maybe. I like a Vulcan. Maybe.
Have they fought?
Ozdemir? No,
I
don't think so.
Him and Anthony Smith? No, I'm thinking of Dominick Reyes, who also fights this Saturday.
It's tough, man.
What about like a Ryan Spann?
Maybe.
Johnny Walker, if he
could
gets
run the fight back of Crute. If Crute's okay, I don't know. It's tough. As Johnny Walker, we're just naming names, but yeah, I don't know, man. That's a really tough question.
I really kind of like the Thiago Santos
at light heavyweight
because Santos won the fight at middleweight, right? They fought each other at middleweight.
Yes. No. Anthony won the fight, I believe. We need a stat boy.
Yeah,
we need to hire somebody.
I'll look it up.
I'm trying to think out loud here. Santos lost to Rakic or beat Rakic?
He lost to Rakic
okay.
Rakic, that was the fight. Rakic got his fucking black belt after the decision. There was no fucking ground game.
There was no fucking ground game.
It was
who called it? DC called that out, right?
No, it was him or Rogan. It was
it was one of them.
It was fucking terrible. Rogan. It wasn't a great fight, and they gave fucking Rakic his black belt after the fight, and he started crying and shit. Like, dude, what the fuck?
I will say this live. Sorry about my mic. I just noticed it, but we're gonna roll on. So I may have not been.
Anthony Smith got knocked out in the second round. Thiago Santos won that fight.
Okay, so that was his rise.
Yeah, run it back.
Yeah, let's run it back. Yeah, apologies for my mic, but we're just no edits here. We move on to Chris Weidman, Uriah Hall. Man.
Yikes, gruesome.
Golly, man.
I'm sure most of the listeners have probably seen this or heard about it by now.
Yeah. Uriah Hall becomes the first guy to win a fight without throwing a punch.
A single strike without throwing a single strike.
Man, it's gruesome, dude. I will point out one thing here, and this has nothing to do with either fighters. And we'll get to the post-fight and everything, but the pros pro of John Anik, man. Because they're putting a bad spot in that position, right? Anik, Rogan, and DC.
For sure.
They're putting a horrible spot. The camera is only on Uriah Hall. And everybody's thinking the same thing. It's morbid, but I want to see it again. Everybody's saying that.
You can't prepare. Well, they showed it in the slow-mo.
Right, and that's why I'm giving Anik credit. I'm giving Anik credit here. Viewer discretion is advised. You know, if you got kids, get them out of the room. They don't want to see this.
It's gruesome, man.
It was bad. But I want to give more praise to Uriah Hall in the post-fight.
For sure.
Man, class fucking act, dude.
I saw this thing today. I was thinking about it earlier. I couldn't think of the fighter, but I saw this thing today. It was Brendan Schwab's podcast.
Yeah.
He's saying that he would rather see Uriah Hall versus Adesanya than Vettori or Whitaker again.
Oh, my.
Do you agree with it?
Right now?
Yeah, he's saying Uriah Hall. Like, why not? He's making it sound like you're crazy if you don't think that.
Shab's full of shit. Uriah Hall?
I like Brendan Schaub. I mean, I get where you're coming from.
I mean, yeah, it may be a great fight, and it may fucking produce a Izzy Gastelum-esque fight, but to say Uriah Hall, and I don't know if that's true or not. You listened to it, right?
I saw it. It was it was an edited video, but yeah, that's what he said. Those were his words.
No free ads, Miller Lite. But yeah, to say that Uriah Hall, that's just ludicrous.
It's a hell of a way to win a fight, though. Like, Uriah Hall said after the fight, he said, I owe Chris, if Chris is able to make a full recovery from this, I owe him this fight.
Whatever my rank is, whatever his rank is, he owes him that fight. And Chris, I gained a lot of fucking respect for Hall.
And not Chris a lot of fighters come back. Chris said after the surgery,
he's doing well.
he said he's going to do his best to make a comeback. So, prayers up for that guy.
Chris, they say 6 weeks he can start walking. He gave out the timetable on his Instagram.
I don't know the timetable.
Yeah, but apparently he's able. He should be able to fight again in a year, or so.
No way.
Yeah,
18 months.
Anderson came back. Anderson was a year older than Chris at the time of his break, and Anderson. It was right at 12 months, and he came back.
I didn't know that.
Anderson was never the same.
And
but
Wyman will never be the same either.
And but Anderson was kind of on the way out anyway, or not out, but he wasn't the Spider at that point in time. Moving on to the championship fights here.
Can't wait. Hey, this is where I made my money Saturday.
Valentina Shevchenko defends her title yet again.
She proved that Andrade ain't bulletproof. She ain't bulletproof, baby. I don't know who is bulletproof at flyweight for her.
Right. I mean, what's next, dude? She looks.
Dana came out and said incredible. So let's go ahead and say it. Shevchenko won from elbows via crucifix in the second round. Second round.
Could have stopped it in the first round though. She was playing with her.
If I would have told you last week that this fight's going to go to the ground, and or I said, hey AJ, this fight's going to go to the ground. Who do you think's going to have the advantage? Would you have said Shevchenko?
Yeah.
On the ground?
Yeah.
I mean, she proved it, dude. And she controlled this fight for the total 8 minutes it lasted, and it was just she never ceases to amaze me. It's better and better. She gets better and better, dude. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I don't know what's next for her, man. I mean,
Dana's already said that if
Nunez don't intrigue him unless both women want it.
Unless both women come up to him and say, "Hey, we want to go back, run it back." That fight doesn't intrigue him, and I don't blame him for that. Whatever. I don't know what's.
And there are new challengers somebody will emerge.
Who do you? I mean,
whether it's a bantamweight.
Who's the next fight that's coming up? Esparza and Jan Zielman, or you got Mackenzie Dern hanging out there too.
But this is flyweight. That's strawweight. Mackenzie Dern is strawweight.
Shit, yeah. So what's next for her?
Nothing. That's what we're saying, or that's what I'm saying. Like, she's cleaned out.
Let me look at the UFC.
She's cleaned out everything, man. It would almost have to be like a.
So
Juliana Pena losing to
Lauren Murphy's getting ready to fight Calderwood. That's the number one contender fight, is what they're saying.
Calderwood's already had it. I mean, I don't know, man.
Dude, there's nobody out there that's going to beat Shevchenko.
No, there's not. Not at this weight. Unless somebody comes down from 135. That's the only thing I could think.
What do you do? Like, I can just see Dana White and Sean Shelby and what's the other guy? I can't even think of this fucker. Mick Maynard. They're all sitting in the fucking drawing board room, scratching their heads. Like, what the fuck do we do?
I don't know, man. Somebody's gonna have to come down from 135 to make it an interesting fight, or fight her sister. I mean,
yeah, but her sister's gonna have to earn it. Like,
she's in the mix.
She's ranked 12th.
She's in the mix, dude. I'm just saying. I mean, it won't take much for her to earn a title shot.
I like Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso just walked the dog on Macy Barber. I think she's got a fight coming up. I don't know who it is off the top of my head, but I wouldn't mind saying that.
Again, I mean, anyways, I digress. Somebody will emerge. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to throw any names out there, or But let's go.
I don't know who to throw out there.
Yeah, exactly. Weili Zhang defends her title against
Rose. Hold on, let me go back to that. I told y'all last week, motherfuckers, to bet Shevchenko by knockout. I hope you listened to me. I hope you made you some money. I definitely made me some money on that fight.
Right.
I definitely made me some money on the next fight.
Hey, we pick winners here, man. I had a 11 or 10-3 night. That's fucking amazing.
I made me some money on this next fight.
I lost this one on the fight, but I did put money on Rose live.
Weili Zhang, Rose, Rose, Nama Nunez.
Yeah.
Bro, was this the most shocking moment of the night?
It was the biggest I don't know.
The leg break was the biggest oh shit moment of the night.
Usman fucking...
That's not the biggest. Usman was expected to win, first off. So you
not like crucifixion.
That. Yeah, not like that, but still,
soul-taking.
Besides the leg break being gruesome and being like, oh shit, dude just fucking snapped his leg.
We'll just kind of break these two fights down. Yeah.
Rose... We talked about it last week. Like, Rose by decision was plus 500, and we were like, "Hey, man, that's not bad. If Rose wins this fight, it's going to be by decision."
Yeah, I definitely didn't.
Nobody had Rose KO one in that kind of fashion. Rose's head kick, right there,
just beautiful, man. And almost kind of like she was leaning it, or
better than the leg kick. Better than the leg kick. How about Pat Barry? I still love Rose more than Pat Barry does. How about Pat Barry's reaction to that? Like,
yeah,
he went.
It's awesome, man.
He ran all the way around the octagon and was like,
"It's awesome."
What I tell you, man? Come on, bro. I told you, get out there. I told you, you're the best. You're the best. Man, I love Pat Barry. I love Pat Barry. I love Rose.
A lot of interesting fights for Rose. Yeah. On the horizon now. I
kind of spoiled it a second ago.
This kind of opens it up, man. If you
Joanna thinks that she deserves it.
She don't. 0-2 against Rose. I don't like that. You could run it back with Weili, like you said. The
okay, Esparza. So that's another thing though. When Weili popped back up pretty quick from the head kick, right. She almost right back up. It was a good stoppage. With me saying that, I think it was a good stoppage. But Weili did come up real quick, and she was pissed.
She was pissed.
The fight got stopped. So I could see the UFC deciding, like, hey, let's run this back. Let's run it back. We only got, what was that fight? How long did that fight last? It was 1:18. So,
but at the same time, let's say you do that. The last 6 fights for Rose will then be against 3 opponents: 2 against Joanna, 2 against Andrade.
That was the knock against her coming into this fight, though.
But I don't know, man. I think Weili. Let's do Weili, Joanna, 2, and Rose fight the winner of Esparza. Excion. I know I'm butchering that.
So you're leaving Mackenzie Dern.
Mackenzie Dern. Let's do Mackenzie Dern.
The winner of
Marina Rodriguez Watterson versus Mackenzie Dern. Okay. Mackenzie Dern is 1 or 2 away from a title shot.
I'm not mad at that.
Can't leave Nina Nunes out either.
UFC, if y'all looking for a matchmaker, I got you. I got your prospect right here.
That's my fucking dream job, dude.
Let's go, bro.
That is my dream job.
Crunch them numbers. Let's go.
Let's get into the main event, man. Marty Usman.
Dude, put some respect on his name. Do not call him fucking Marty.
Put some respect.
Bro, don't call him Marty no more. Put some respect on his name.
Okay. Kamaru Usman.
Come on. How does Bruce Buffer say it? Kamaru? Is that
I don't know. Kamaru Usman. That's how
Kamaru, the Nigerian nightmare. Even though he's more American, Usman.
This was the biggest holy shit moment, if you ask me.
I think
dude, no.
You can argue either of them, man. Any of them. You can argue.
I'm going to go to bat for this. This was fucking insane.
I will say this. Even though last week on the podcast, Anthony had to catch my mistake, I said Masvidal KO 4. I did have Usman KO. I just had him in the 4th round.
But you didn't. When you said KO,
I believe
you're thinking. You're not thinking one shot fucking dead. You're thinking a shot that hurts him, staggers him, Usman ground and pound, TKO. Sure. You're thinking you're calling TKO. Don't get it twisted like you fucking called a one-hitter quitter on the podcast. No, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, no.
I'll give you your props.
No, you're right, dude. You're right.
Yeah,
I mean
that was fucking holy shit.
And it wasn't more me predicting that wasn't more Usman. It was more Masvidal. He's only out of the fucking crazy ass number 50 professional fights. He's only been knocked out once. Nobody had this shit.
Nobody had that.
Everybody thought Marty Usman. I'm sorry, Kamaru. Everybody thought Usman was going to do the foot stomping bullshit against the cage, you get takedowns, and in the first round that's what he did. He took Masvidal down.
Masvidal. All class and defeat as well. I mean,
he respects the game.
He respected Usman after the fight. So.
But
I don't want to write Masvidal off.
So let's move on. Like, is he the greatest welterweight champion of all time? He's not the greatest heavyweight champion of all time, but is he the greatest welterweight champion of all time?
He's making his case. He's making his case. Get off the fucking phone, Shawnee.
That was actually
him. What a shitty podcast. Anyways, let's get back on track here. He's making his case to be the greatest welterweight of all time. Definitely is the pound for pound number 1 right now, right? With Khabib gone, John's inactivity. Who else you want to throw in there? Figgy, Izzy.
But Izzy's coming off a loss. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's got to be Kamaru.
Jan, no disrespect.
According to UFC, it's Jones, Usman, Volkanovski.
Get the fuck out of here. Who's John fought? He fought Dom. That's his last fight, right?
I'm just telling you what the UFC has.
And he lost that fight.
Dude, this isn't a We Hate John Jones podcast.
It's not.
But you make it fucking seem that way, so let's move on. I'm just telling you. I
can't state my opinion. You're sucking his dick over
You can state your opinion, but let's not make that the focal point of the podcast.
He didn't fight in 20.
He'll still beat Dominick fucking Reyes any day of the week. All right,
watch your fucking mouth.
Kamaru Usman's number 2. Volkanovski's number 3 in the pound for pound rankings. He hadn't fought in a while either. He's getting ready to be tough. Alexander Volkanovski.
Israel's number 3?
Israel's number. Yeah, he's number 3. Israel's number 4. Ngannou's number 5, Poirier's number 6, and that about rounds it out.
I mean, okay. I guess the 2 wins over Max. Where's Max at on that?
You know what cracked me up last week when you brought up Justin Gaethje? You said, "Where the fuck you at? When are you gonna
For
fight?"
real though,
yeah,
where the hell is he, man?
Where the fuck is Justin Gaethje? Come on, bro.
Dude,
we miss you. We miss you. Shit.
It was rumored that he was gonna fight RDA, but nothing ever came of that. Yeah, man. Usman's on his way. He's writing his legacy for greatness, dude. I will say, if we're going to say what's next for him.
If you didn't put respect on his name after the Burns fight, I think you've got to put at least a sprinkle of respect on his name after that fight.
I respect him.
Yeah, I respect him, too.
No doubt about it, I respect him.
I don't necessarily think he's an exciting fighter to watch all the time, but his last 2 fights, yeah.
I respect the fuck out of John Jones. He's just a knucklehead.
Your words say otherwise.
Dude, I respect the shit out of John Jones. I
Let's
call it
get
like I
into
see
Saturday.
it. No. I want to say this. Dana came out and said Colby's next. But I'm going to throw this scenario at you, Sean.
Damn right, Colby's next. I done said it last week.
Nate Diaz beats Leon Edwards. You don't think Nate Diaz is getting the title shot?
Not over Colby Covington.
I guarantee you.
Nate Diaz? Nate Diaz didn't even beat fucking Masvidal. You think he's beating Leon Edwards?
I'm just saying, if he does.
Dude, he's not.
Usman will want the Diaz fight because it's bigger money.
Oh, Usman don't want to fight Covington. Usman's already talked about retiring. All right, so there's one thing. If y'all didn't fucking know last week, even though I was drunk last week, I still stand by my fucking word. Colby Covington is my motherfucker, dude. Like
we know
the way Anthony feels about DC is the way I feel about Colby Covington. Kamaru don't want that smoke. Kamaru does not want to fight Covington again. He's already talked about retiring after the fight. He go, I could retire right now. You know
he could, but he
doesn't want to fight Covington. Because Dana came out before the fight happened and said Covington's next. Colby Covington is next in line, and Kamaru don't want that shit. Colby Covington was winning that fight up to that point.
Fake nut shot.
With a fucking broken jaw. He was winning the fucking fight with a broken jaw.
I'm just telling. I'm just throwing that scenario out to you, dude.
Don't get me wrong. Usman is not the same fighter he was then. Usman's not the same fighter he was in that Colby Covington fight. He's impressed. He's gotten better by far. That's what I'm talking about. Usman has gotten better since that.
I thought you were saying
Covington's only fought what, Woodley? That's his only fight since then.
Lawler?
No, Woodley.
No, I'm saying Lawler. Didn't he fight?
No, he's fought Woodley. I think in like.
So it went Lawler, Usman, Woodley, I guess. Whatever.
Let's lost me. I don't remember.
I'm saying you don't remember the Lawler Covington fight?
No.
Yeah, man.
No, I don't remember.
I think that's what earned.
I remember the Covington Romero fight.
No. We're getting off.
Anyway, I can't wait to break down that fight if it ever happens. I won't be surprised if Usman dodges that fight though. But still, if Leon Edwards beats Nate Diaz, yes, that's it. That's his next fight is the championship. Whether it's Covington or Usman, whoever has the belt. Leon Edwards, if he beats, I ain't even say if, when he beats Nate Diaz, that's his next fight.
How dare you?
What's next for Masvidal? Vicente Luque?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Chiesa?
Dude, I'm telling you, we talked about this at the beginning. Masvidal is taking the big money fights. He's not fighting Luque. I'm telling you right now.
So he's fighting Chimaev.
He'll take a Nate fight.
So he's fighting Chimaev.
Why do you keep saying it like I didn't hear you? He's not going to fight Chimaev.
He's
not going to fight Chimaev. He's going to fight Diaz.
What's a money fight for him? What's a money fight for Masvidal? Nate Diaz?
Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz.
Nate Diaz. Either one of them.
There's nobody else you would say? I mean, I think Leon Edwards is the biggest money fight for Masvidal for the two-piece and the soda.
There you go. That's a money fight.
But if Leon Edwards beats Diaz, he's going to get the next title shot. Unless there's some kind of, situation with middleweight right now where Vittoria's getting a title shot and there's a time frame issue.
Let's move on.
Masvidal. Let's move on. We don't want to talk about this. I'm getting pumped up, man. That excites me.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Masvidal's not in a position in his career to reclimb the ladder.
I get that. He's going to make all the money he can make.
Yeah.
But
Luque does not give him. You can't headline a pay-per-view.
Who would you take in a Masvidal Luque fight?
Probably Vicente Luque. But that's what I'm saying. You can't headline a pay-per-view in that and Masvidal make money.
The money fight is Edwards and Masvidal just because of the history.
Yeah. But I don't know. We're going around in circles here, man.
All right, let's get ready for Saturday.
Let's break down this fight card.
Let's get ready for Saturday.
May 1st. We start off Luke Sanders versus Felipe Corrales. Luke Sanders 13-4. Corrales 9-2. We got minus 150 on Sanders.
Yeah, and so what do you think about this? Because these fights are back at the UFC Apex.
Right.
No fans. As far as I know, there's probably some fans, but it's not a packed house.
Yeah, there may be some, but not a lot.
6 p.m. start
Vegas
Central Time.
Is back open yet.
Yeah, 6 p.m. start time. Luke Sanders 13-4. Corrales is 9-2. Both these guys are coming off losses.
8 years is elder as Sanders.
I don't know much about the fights. I've seen both of them fight. I believe this is featherweight. I've seen both of them fight.
I know more about who Luke Sanders used to date than his resume.
Who did you date?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. Wow. Didn't know that at all.
Shout out the man.
Did you see how many fights this card has lost?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, it's wild, man.
It's notable, man. It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 fights. This fight is
Sakai
lost.
was supposed to be on this. Or Saki, however you say it.
Sakai, you had it right. But yeah, I mean,
I like Sanders here. I'll
take
him here.
What is he? What are the odds on this fight? Sanders
minus 150. Corrales is plus 122.
I like Corrales here just for submissions. I think he can. Find a submission in this fight and win. I've got him submission.
Okay. I'm gonna need your help, Shawnee, pronouncing this next name.
Andreas Michelatis
versus
he's the minus 250 favorite against KB Buller, the Canadian, at plus 200, who is coming off his first loss of his career in his UFC debut.
Right.
The notes that I have on this fight is, again, both these guys are coming off of losses. Bueller has a slight height and reach advantage. Michelatis is normally a middleweight. I think he's had a catchweight fight at 195. His last fight in the UFC was against Modestas Bukalkas at 205. 75% of the public's on Michelatis, 80% by KO. I'm fading the public on it, though. I'm going to go with Bullard by decision.
So we differ 2 fights in a round. I'm going with...
We need a difference.
Yeah, I'm going with Andreas. Move on. I don't have odds on this next one. Sam Hughes versus Loma Lookboonmee.
Lookboonmee, and that's her nickname. According to Sherdog, her name is crazy. I can't say it.
Lookboonmee is like she's going.
Yeah,
she's going.
The odds that I found, I think, are off Tabology. Lookboonmee is minus 350. Sam Hughes is plus 260. So
yeah, I
moderate.
Her.
Yeah. It's a moderate or significant. Yeah, she's a big favorite. I don't have much advice to give you.
Yeah, there's not a lot to break.
I don't have much insight to give you. 88% of the public votes on Lookboonmee. 84% of that is by decision. And I'm just gonna follow suit on it and go Lookboonmee by decision.
Yeah, chalk here. Move on. Kai Kamaka versus T.J. Brown.
Featherweight
division. I like this fight.
I do. I think this will be an exciting fight.
I do. Could be fight of the night maybe. T.J. Brown. I like him, man.
I do too.
He's up and coming.
He's had two. He got on Contender Series. His first 2 fights in the UFC, he's lost, which it was a comeback win against Jordan Griffin. Had a comeback win against him, found the choke, and then Danny Chavez, I would say, controlled that fight most part back in August. But
coming off 2 losses, but I
like him in this fight.
I still like him in this fight.
Kamaka's a heavy wrestler, but I think T.J. Brown can control this fight if he can stay up, and I think he gets the win. I've got him by KO.
Kamaka lost in his last fight. Jonathan Pierce, who's fighting in the next fight. I don't know. I think T.J. Brown can get it done here. He's the underdog here, so plus 145. I see a lot of value there. Yep. I think it's a more of a even fight, like minus 110. Let's see here. We go to Gabriel Benitez versus Jonathan Pierce.
Featherweight fight. We just said that Pierce is coming off a win against Kai Kamaka. Yeah. So I don't have much to give you on this one either. 83% of the public's on Kamaka. 80% is by decision.
Benitez minus 215. Pierce coming back at plus 172. I like Pierce here, man.
I was so impressed with the way he fought Kamaka that it's hard for me to just disregard that. I mean, Benitez is 22-8. Pierce is 10-4. They're
32 years.
I won't be surprised if the fight goes either way. But if you put a gun in my head and maybe pick, I'm going to take the underdog and Pierce by KO.
Benitez trains at AKA. Last fight, knee to the body. Justin James, nasty. Got him to win there.
Hell of a knockout.
I don't know. I lean Pierce. I could see Benitez winning.
Exactly.
This is a tough fight to pick. I'm gonna go the underdog just because I see the value, officially on the picks here on the pod. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Alvey, missiles fight.
Cuban missile. His missiles are his fucking hands, man.
Yeah, man.
Just don't talk about his girl. Whatever you do.
Move on here. We got MMA vet of the women's MMA, man. Randa Marcos versus Luana Pinheiro.
UFC debut.
Yeah.
Contender series.
A lot of hype behind this girl.
I like her.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much of her. I'll speak about Randa here. She's been in there with just any big name you can think of in women's MMA in the past, 8 years. She's been in there with Mackenzie Dern, Hebus, Yoder, Gadelia, Angela Hill, Nina Nunez, Grassa. The list goes on and on. Tough 20 alum. She's had her wins. She's had her losses. I like her wrestling here. To take Pinheiro's a kickboxer, right?
I believe you're right, sir.
Okay. I could see Marcos winning this fight. I'll pick Pinheiro. I'll take the chalk here just because Marcos is kind of up and down, man. To my liking to put money on it. I'll go with the prospect here. 6 wins in a row for Pinheiro.
Also, though, this is her UFC debut.
Yeah, she fought on the Contender Series back November, right?
November, yeah. She's 8-1. Marcos, I think this is kind of like a measuring stick fight. Like, all right, Pinheiro, here you go. We're going to put you in there with a vet. Show us what you can do. And I think, you know how Sabatini said that the UFC jitters is a real thing?
Yeah.
I don't know if that applies as much to the out-of-country people as much as it applies to Americans. Like, Pinheiro's 27. If she comes in here, if she can keep those jitters in check, I think she's going to win. I mean, 81% of the public's on her, 56 by decision. I want to say I'm definitely rolling with Pinheiro, and I'm probably going to say she.
It's going to be hard to stop Randa.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, let me look at Randa. She's got 10 losses, 8 decisions, 2 submissions. So she's never been knocked out.
Yeah. Randa's hard to stop, dude.
Yeah. And this fight was supposed to happen at UFC 260, the Ngannou Miocic card.
Yeah, we'll say that, and Pinheiro girl goes out and shows her skills.
Well, I'm going to take Pinheiro, and I'm going to say decision. Just whatever.
That's how I'll go too.
I think she's got very good potential, high potential. I think she wins.
Moving on here.
Main card. 6-fight main card here.
Right.
First fight of the night is Poliana Botelho. She's the favorite, minus 220, facing on Luana Carolina, plus 165. Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. So it's went down a little bit, or up. However. This is
flyweight.
I liked Carolina in her last fight. She got caught with that knee bar early. Yeah.
That was hard to watch too.
When they were on their feet, I liked. I like the striking of Carolina. There's not a lot to go off of there, but what we saw of her on the feet, knee bars are hard. It's not something you.
No, that is it's not something you see every day.
Right. It's kind of like a flash knockout. A knee bar is
yeah, but as soon as who was it? Hebus? No, it was Lipsky. As soon as Lipsky locked that up, dude, the pain you saw in.
Yeah, she had to tap immediately.
Yeah, the pain you saw in her, and I couldn't believe that there was no ligament damage or anything.
No.
I didn't expect to see Carolina fight until next year, until 2022. Yeah. But there was no kind of ligament damage. There was no tears or anything. She's back Saturday.
I like her here against Botelho. Yeah, Botelho's last fight was against Julian Robertson, and Robertson great on the ground as in Robertson. That fight.
That was I wouldn't say that, dude. That was a unanimous decision, yes, but Botelho fought back.
She fought
I scored it unanimous for Julian Robinson, but
yeah, it was clear cut. I wouldn't domination may be a bad word.
Yeah, I don't think it was a domination. I definitely do think Julian Robinson won that fight. But I think this fight's going to play more into Patella's hands where it's on the feet. She's got 6 knockouts of her 8 wins. The other 2 are decisions. I'm going to roll with that. I'm going to go Patella decision here. 85% of the public's on her. Of that 85%, 86% is decision. And I'm going to run with it.
We'll move on here to the next fight. Is this at bantamweight or?
This is yeah.
Okay.
This is 135. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if
Davaliashvili.
The minus
The machine.
260 favorite versus Cody Stamann. Dude, I'm liking the underdogs here, man. I like Stamann here.
I like the underdogs in the undercard, but now that we're to the main card, I'm moving on to the favorites.
Davaliashvili is, I mean, he's that guy, but I like Stamann's experience. Fought a decent fight against Jimmy Rivera. Brian Kelleher, he got the win. The weird draw against Song Yadong. I don't know, man. I liked laying the more for valid.
He's fought Aljo. Aljo got him with a knee bar.
Speaking of Aljo, dude, I think you sent me this. The Oscars were Sunday. Peter Yan sends out a tweet. Man, I'm really rooting for Aljamain Sterling tonight. #Oscars. Fucking epic.
Yeah.
He fucking ethered him with that, dude.
Hey, that's another thing I want to talk about. What do you think about doing on the podcast like a top 10 fighters under 30 or top 10 fighters under 25?
Yeah, we could.
Peter Yan's like 28. He would be number 1 on my list.
We didn't get much response from the draft segment last week, but yeah, I'm down to do that. Like once a month, like a draft segment or something like that.
So you've got, you said Cody Stamann, last 2 losses, there's Jimmy Rivera decision and a knee bar by Aljo, which Aljo's a champion, so that's never going to be considered a bad loss. And he's got a draw. He's got a draw in between those to Song Yadong. You like Stamann here.
More for the value. I mean, I could definitely see Davaliashvili winning. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's
the value though. I mean, it's
he's pretty.
Yeah. The thing about the machine here, Merab,
it's a closer fight than the experts think. I guess that's a better way to say it.
I don't know, man. I think the experts think this is a close fight. Davaliashvili
minus 260, dude. That's getting up there.
Davaliashvili is that motherfucker though. He's ranked number 12 on UFC's website. Stamann's ranked number 13. If you've seen Davaliashvili fight, you know that he's got a gas tank. Like, this motherfucker's not going to get tired. He probably at this point in his career, compared to any other UFC fighter, he probably averages more takedown attempts than any fighter at any point. And he is the main training partner of Aljo. He's the main training partner of Aljamain Sterling. Yep. I think that says a lot. He trains with a champion. He knows. He's 5-0 in his last 5 with wins over guys like John Dodson, Gustavo Lopez, Casey Kenny. 87% of the public's on him, 91% by decision. So if you want to be that guy that knocks him, he doesn't get a lot of finishes. His fights do go to decision, but he's never tired. You never see this guy breathing heavy.
No.
And I'm gonna follow that pick. I got Davaliashvili by decision.
7.7 takedowns per 15 minutes. That's awesome, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, but both these guys are wrestlers like that, though. Stamann's a wrestler, too.
Good striking defense. Only absorbs 2 strikes per minute is Davaliashvili. I don't know, man. Stamann's well-rounded.
Yeah, for sure.
Good takedowns, as you said. I like him here, dude.
Davaliashvili beats Casey Kenny in a unanimous decision. I kind of think Stamann and Casey Kenny are kind of like the same guy.
Yeah, maybe. I know Davaliashvili's a higher caliber wrestler, but Stamann, to his credit, has 80% takedown defense. I mean, so I don't know.
This is going to come down to who controls the fight.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going
to see the fight takes place.
I don't think you're going to see a knockout here. I don't think you're going to see a highlight reel, any kind of finish.
My official pick is Stamann.
My official pick is Davaliashvili.
Okay. Move on. Sean Strickland versus Krzysztof Jotku. All right.
Hey, man, I love Sean Strickland.
Minus 265 favorite. I've got to lay the chalk here.
I love Sean Strickland. He's the number 15th ranked middleweight in the UFC's rankings. If you don't know this guy's story, he's got a really good story. He had a 2-year layoff from being in. He would at the time. He was one of the biggest up and comers in the UFC, you could say, and he had a motorcycle accident that put him out for 2 years.
Right, I remember.
And when he came back on Halloween last year against Jack Marshman, he was talking to him the whole fight. Like, come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. There's 10 seconds, Jack. 5 seconds, Jack. Hit me. You got an iron chin, Jack. And you know, maybe Kevin Holland spoiled us a little bit in that matter. And then he came back the very next month in November and fought Brendan Allen and knocked Brendan Allen out. I think Brendan Allen's a damn good fighter.
I do too.
87% of the public is on Strickland here, 63 by KO. But Joku is a name. I mean, he's been around forever.
Oh, he's a vet, man.
He's a 13-fight vet in the UFC.
Yeah, 9 wins in the UFC since 2013.
Yeah.
He's a decision machine, though. 15 of his 22 wins.
And I very well think this fight could go to decision.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Joku's going to be a hard guy to finish for Strickland. But
Yep.
I think Strickland gets it done. My official pick is Strickland KO in the second.
Me as well.
Yeah.
Strickland,
You're taking KO in the second?
I like decision. Strickland decision.
Yeah, I think that's a nice bet, too. I mean, I like that pick.
Great striker, Strickland is, man. Great pace. He keeps a great pace. 5 strikes per minute. 81 takedown percent. Defense, I mean. Losses to the best. Loses only to the best, I mean. Usman Ponce. Fuck, man. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know, man. Anyways, but I'll take Strickland. Decision, like I said. We move on. Light heavyweight division. Dustin Jacoby. Stepping in.
Ion Kudalaba.
Yeah, man. The Hulk, right?
The Hulk. You remember when he painted himself green at the weigh-ins?
His whole body. That was weird.
Speaking of that, I'm a big fan of Kudalaba. Like Kudalaba,
I like him. I like him too.
He comes out of the gates ready to fucking throw hands.
Banging, dude.
Yeah, dude. And unfortunately for him, his last 2 fights are against Magomed Ankalaev, which he's a fucking sniper. He lost that. You know, you remember the first fight? You know, he was playing possum, kind of acting dazed. Referee stops the fight, and he was like, "What the fuck you doing?"
Right.
Well, that guy tied up his whole 2020. It was supposed to be a rematch. That fight guy had to get booked 3 fucking times.
Yeah,
COVID and other shit.
It was almost like
that took up his whole 2020. I want to say. It
was almost like it was like destined never to happen again.
Yeah, it finally got booked again late last year, and Ankalaev, put the critics to sleep. He finished that fight in the first round, knocked Kudalaba out. But if you pull up Kudalaba's resume, let's see if I can pull up Kudalaba's resume. I want to say that he was supposed to fight Devin Clark here. Clark withdrew. He's 15-6. He's got 15 wins, and you want to take a guess at how many knockouts of those 15 are knockouts? 12.
I was gonna say 13. No shit, I was gonna say 13.
But yeah, to my point, if you pull up his resume, his last 5 losses, which I've already said, 2 of them, his last 2 fights were both against Ankalaev. Both of them are technically losses. Glover Teixeira, Jared Cannonier, and Misha Krinkanov. Those are his last 5. So yeah. I think those are all names.
I like Kudalaba here just because Jacoby's taking it on short notice.
Yeah, for sure. I like Kudalaba here, and I'm taking him KO 1 just because I like the way he comes out of the gate swinging.
Heart pick.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Kudalaba.
All right, man. Sticking with the veterans.
Co-main event here.
Cub Swanson, impressive in his last fight, man. Everybody rode his ass off. Taking on Chikaze.
He was impressive, but he was getting beat in that fight up until the point he got the knockout.
Yeah, but I mean, damn, dude.
Who was it? Who the fuck was he fighting?
It was the Figgy
Daniel
Moreno.
Pineda. It was the Figgy Moreno card in December. I had Pineda picked in that fight just because of...
I think everyone...
Yeah, I mean, well, Swanson had a long layoff there.
Right.
Like, I mean, nobody really knew what they were getting out of Cub. But you can't... I mean, he put everybody on notice. Like, you can't ever doubt this guy. He's a vet. He's a gamer. He will put you in your place whenever you fucking doubt him.
Right.
with that being said, Cub's only been knocked out once. Jikatse is you could say, one of the biggest up-and-comers in that weight class. He's got the 4-inch reach advantage here. 71% of the public's on Jikatse, and 76% of that is by decision. I don't know what kind of Cub we're going to get.
Yeah,
so
that's always the question.
I've got to go with Jikatse. I'm going to take Jikatse decision, but I won't be surprised in the slightest if Cub shows up and shuts my mouth.
I'm gonna pick with my heart here. I like Cub to get it done, man.
How are you going to take it?
Decision. Jikatse is a hard motherfucker to stop.
See, that's the thing, man.
He's tough. He's tough as nails.
If
man.
Cub wins this fight, I don't think it's going to be decision. I think Cub can throw something at Jikatse that Jikatse's never seen before.
Right, maybe. And maybe
that's
decision's a hard pick, but I don't think picking Swanson.
Cub was fucking tired in his last fight, and that was only what was Cub's last fight? Was his second round finish? Third?
Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah, but he was fucking gassed in that fight, and he caught Pineda.
He's getting a little bit long in the tooth, man.
I don't think he's going to outgas tank Jikatse. That's the only reason I won't take Cub here. I don't think it goes to this. I don't think if it goes to a decision, I think it favors Jikatse.
Possibly.
And both these guys are ranked. Jikatse's 14, Cub Swanson's 15. But I'm gonna roll with Jikatse. I'm gonna roll with what I think.
No.
You're switching?
No. I'm going Swanson. My bad.
How are you taking Swanson though? You're gonna roll with decision.
I'm gonna go with decision.
I don't think he can hold up, man. Who knows?
See. We'll see.
Who knows?
Moving on. Main event of the evening,
Main event
man.
of the night. Big fight.
Dom Reyes.
2 consecutive title shots, and he's come short on both of them. And I'm sure Anthony will talk some shit.
One loss.
One loss.
2 losses, defeated in 1.
2 losses, got beat in 1.
Yeah, that decision.
Got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, he did. And
fucking Blachowicz.
And to Dom's credit, man, I watched some of the press conferences today. He's taking it well. He's.
I love Dom.
He's taking it in stride. Yeah, he's saying he's glad he got knocked out. After the fact. Right, after the fact. He's using it as a lesson. You know what I'm saying? He said it made him love training again, He wanted to get back there and get better every day.
You got to think, if you're Dom Reyes, you go 12-0 in your first 12 fights. You finish 9 of them. You run into John Jones, and you give him the fight of a lifetime. You get a lot of people, you're one of them, come out there and say he won that fight against John Jones.
He did.
He didn't.
I know.
He didn't.
It's a lot closer than I first
most title fights. Yeah, it's in the moment when
a lot of those rounds are razor fucking close, man.
In the moment though, when you're watching a fight and you're pulling for a guy, you're gonna give him the edge just because you're pulling for him.
I will say, man, credit. To my own horn here, I try not to do that. When I'm judging a fight in the moment, I try to stay unbiased as possible, even if it's DC fighting or whoever, insert Forrest Griffin or whoever. I try to stay as unbiased as possible. You can
plug in any resume here. Having 2 losses and both of them being John Jones, who was a champion at the time, and Jan Blachowicz, who was the champ, or that was for the title. That was the interim or light heavyweight title fight. Almost said heavyweight again there.
Yeah.
Dumbass. But yeah, Blachowicz was just that motherfucker at that point in time. The thing here with Jiri Prochazka, I like the guy.
But we don't know much about him.
He's 27-3-1. Of those 27 wins, 24 of them are by knockout, and 21 of those are by first round knockout.
Yeah.
So I think if you're Reyes here, your mission is
against way lesser competition, though.
Yeah. He's only had one fight in the UFC.
Right.
He's only had but your mission as Reyes here is to get out of the first round because this guy's going to be looking for it. Prochazka has only had one fight in the UFC against what's his name, Volkan Ozdemir.
Ozdemir.
And that's another knock against Reyes is that Reyes beat Ozdemir split decision. A lot of people think Ozdemir won that fight. Split decision.
Close.
It was very close. You could have scored it either way. Prochazka gets caught by Ozdemir once or twice, but he also rocks Ozdemir once or twice in that first round.
Right.
That fight ended, I want to say, like a minute into the second round, and Prochazka had Ozdemir stiff as a board out for it seemed like a very long time. Ozdemir was out on the canvas, sleep. He slept him, dude. Yeah. He slept him. And
it was impressive.
He's got a very good straight right. The only thing about Prochazka in that fight is that he was very overconfident. I went back and watched it today.
Yeah. I watched some of it. Yeah.
Prochazka was very overconfident, and it led him to get hit. If he comes out here and fights Reyes the way he did Ozdemir, I could see Reyes landing a couple lefts and putting him to sleep. This fight could go either way.
This fight is, and the odds back that up.
Yeah.
Minus 132 for Prochazka.
Yeah. And you could argue, depending on how this fight goes.
Plus 108 Reyes.
You could argue, however this fight goes, that whoever wins this fight is going to get the title shot.
Yeah, I mean,
however the fight goes.
Prochazka, where's he at in the rankings right now?
Prochazka's number 5 and Reyes is number 3.
Okay,
according to UFC's
that wouldn't
rankings.
Be crazy.
So, I mean, I'm going Prochazka KO 1. I'm gonna stick with him, up and comer. Reyes is kind of coming off 2 losses, 2 very good losses, if there's such a thing. If you believe there's such a thing as a good loss, I do. Yeah. I just hope that Prochazka comes out and takes this fight serious. I hope he don't come out playing like the last fight he did with Ozdemir. He was doing the little hand motions and like pumping his chin and shit.
Because if he does that against Dom, he could get fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, according to UFC, they've got Blachowicz, the champion, Teixeira number 1, which they've already announced that's the next title fight.
Yes.
Rakic is number 2, Reyes is number 3, Thiago Santos is number 4, who he just lost with Teixeira. And then Prochazka is number 5. So you could see the winner getting a title shot here, depending on how it goes, or you could see the loser facing a guy like Anthony Smith.
I like Reyes here solely on just experience, man. We don't know much about Prochazka, other than he's just a knockout artist. But you can't say Dom is susceptible to the knockout just by the Blachowicz loss. He took some mad fucking shots from John. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I lean Dom here.
But I think to a certain extent you could say that Dom was a knockout artist, so he got to the UFC.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, like the longer this fight goes on, the more in favor of Reyes it goes, because you don't know.
Yes.
You don't really know what
kind of gas tank does Prochazka have?
Yeah, I mean he's lost.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Prochazka.
I like him. I mean, I think he's definitely an exciting fighter. He comes out guns a-blazing, just like we said about Kudalaba not too long ago. He's going to come out guns a-blazing looking for the knockout, and as long as Dom can avoid the big shots, if he
I think that's Dom's game plan. Avoid the big shot, take it into deep water.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. We all know both these guys have fucking fire in their hands. Like,
no doubt.
It's going to come down to who lands the punch or who avoids the punch. I really like that Reyes is a lefty here. I think that's going to help him in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we don't know, man. I'm rolling with Prochazka just because I think he has a higher upside. Like we've done seen Reyes fight for the title twice.
I don't think it's a bad pick. I
don't think you can. I don't think there's such thing as a bad pick here.
No, absolutely not.
The only thing I'm scared of though is if Reyes comes out here and gets knocked out in the first round, like.
Where does he go from here?
Yeah, like how bad does he get shit on here? Because he's not a bad fighter. He's just. I mean, he's
we'll talk about that next week. But yeah, I don't want to. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
I mean, if there's something I'm missing,
pick,
man, let me know. My official pick is Prochazka KO in the first. I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid.
I'm taking Prochazka. I'm gonna go Dom TKO 4. Just. I wanna see him test Prochazka's gas tank. Let's see what happens. Maybe like lands a big shot, takes him down, finishes him on the ground. TKO, ground and pound.
This fight could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about it more next week, you guys. Anything post show or?
No, man. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
I want to show you guys some love. I appreciate y'all listening. Please, I'm trying my best to be a social media guy and live tweet and shit like that. And it'll make it a lot easier on me if you guys responded and talk to me. Like,
yeah, man.
It would fuel my fire, baby. I promise.
Let's keep it going, man. You good there, bud?
I'm great.
All right, man. At the Jab Pod on Instagram, TikTok. We're trying to be more involved in TikTok. We're two 30-year-old guys, man. We just don't know much about TikTok. But we'll try to stay active. At AJ No Styles on Instagram for me, my personal Instagram.
Sean Dog B at Sean Dog B
on Twitter for Shawnee. At the Jab Pod. At the Jab Pod.
The Jab Pod.
Yeah, man. Let's keep it rolling, man. We'll
thank you guys for listening. We will be with y'all next week.
Episode 5. Get ready.